Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, I'm Patrick, and I love
really hate
Resident Evil 5.
Resident Evil 5.
Oh, dear. Resident Evil 5. You know, I used to love this game for like a weekend. I did used to love this game for the record, and I should be looking at you actually now that I think about it. Yeah, so like I used to be huge on Resident Evil 5, and I like read the novels, and I got super into Resident Evil 4, and I was like so fucking hyped for this game. I was waiting for years for this game to come out, and I was even kind of excited at the time for co-op. And we had a fun weekend where we played and beat most of it, and that was great. And then I tried playing it in single player, and that was like the most broken fucking mess I could think of. And Sheva is the most useless fucking AI I have ever played with and was stuck with. Like, so if we're talking about, I have no idea when the other one of these comes out, but like if I was saying Ellie is like the most useful AI I've had, Sheva is the most broken, useless thing ever. And the thing that made me stop playing the game is when you're fighting that stupid tarantula and like, hey, I have my unlimited rocket launcher since I beat the game. Buy a stupid fucking tarantula thing. And Sheva's like, oh, look, an herb. Boom! Dead. Fuck! Okay. Done. Okay. So, and then I got to even think about it some more. So, like, okay, so this game has been building for at least a couple games of, like, Albert Wesker's, like, being evil behind the shadows and shit. So now he's going to do his big plan, and Chris is back, which is legitimately cool. Sure, he's roided out the shit and fucked boulders, but, you know, hey, cool, you know, it's like, this should still be kind of fun, right? I'm not destroying the world, Chris. I'm saving it. Like, no, you're a greedy fuck. You're not saving. You're not fucking. You're not like Captain Planet. You're not like the world. What's like globally saturate the world with this fucking virus? I can protect the environment. What the fuck? No. So we're waiting all these games for like Wesker to like protect the environment. So like he's just like an underground super dark EPA. That's what he is. Okay. And then, like, you know, he had a cool boss fight. You know, we shot him and you couldn't... Like, you had to really work to try and hit him and Jill and remove that. That was a cool fight. And then he just turns into another monster. And that just, like, becomes so much more annoying. And then you had to play with dipshits online if you didn't want to deal with, like, Sheva. And you really didn't have much of a way to really communicate or work with them. And if you weren't playing with someone you knew, that made it that much worse. The inventory system was absolute dog shit in comparison to 4. Like, I get that the idea is you gotta go through it in real time, like, oh, pause menus won't save you now. Nice idea and concept, but we're back to the same issue of the previous games, which didn't bother me before, of like a gun holds up the same inventory space as an herb. Didn't bother me then. Bothers me now when we had a fully customizable anti-shake case where we could just move around shit. Like, maybe in multiplayer that would get annoying to do. Like, I could just be like, hey, Patch, hold on a second. I gotta move like my herb 2 centimeters to the left. I get that. That would be really annoying. But that should absolutely still be in the single player bit. Unacceptable. All in, no merchant. So, 2.5 out of 10. After you. I'm gonna drink for a little bit.
Look, this game gets a bad rep. Everybody bitches so much about it.
And it earned it. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And it did earn it in a lot of other ways. People bitching about Sheva, like, she's bad. But she's not that bad. There have been way worse AIs. In a way, she's pretty useful as far as, like, hitting the shots that she needs to shoot or, like, detecting or healing you when you do need healing. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. So were you and I when we were trying to heal our own fucking partners. Like, that game is a co-op perfection. In my opinion, with another player, that game is co-op perfection. You hate the inventory system. I thought it was fine. I actually found it harder because, like, one of the problems I had in Resident Evil 4 is that, like, I had all these different guns and just a little bit of ammo, or if I wanted to have a pistol and nothing but ammo, like, you had to dick around with that organization thing, which is fine if you like that, but in 5 it was easier. One thing I don't like about 5's inventory system is you can't trade guns. That's stupid. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do that. But for all of those stupid moments that you talk about with Wesker, there are way more better moments, like the liquors coming back and like the mines and stuff like that, or like even in the first level when you and Sheva like go down, it's the demo level.
It's the best level of the game. It sold the game, and then the rest of the game was not that level. If the entire game played like this game is so fucking crazy that you need another person to help you out, yes, but it was a bad action game after that.
It had bad action moments. Like on the Jeep driving around shooting a bunch of Ouroboros on motorcycles. Yeah, that's stupid. But like even after that level in the house when you're going up and you're like seeing this like like these people just like suffering the whole time, and like they come at you, in the bosses like in the umbrella facility. Those are really cool. Like the one with the flamethrower. Like that was awesome. The there are annoying moments like with the twirly like moment where people are sniping you have to grab a sniper rifle and stuff like that. But the Wesker Jill fight was fucking awesome. And like that was one of my favorite parts of the game. And like the Wesker fight at the end was awesome. Like of course you're gonna fight a fucking giant monster. It's a Resident Evil game. Like what were you expecting?
He's already a fucking boss on his own. He didn't need to be a giant monster. Also,
and you fought him enough times doing that when he's just like in his black suit, badass, like and beating the fuck out of you.
They could have done it in a different way to where it wasn't just like, oh hey, you couldn't hit him now you can hit him and it doesn't matter. It's like, I don't know, it's a different level of like, okay, this is just another boss, when it was like, holy shit, it's Wesker and you can't hit him for shit and he's wrecking you. That's a whole different experience, and that's much more Resident Evil. In a sense of like, yes, shooting indestructible monsters is also Resident Evil, but Wesker needs to be different than a tyrant.
I
Making
agree
him
with that.
just a glorified tyrant at the end is very anticlimactic, especially given if you play the other games and know like, oh, I'm behind the shadows doing all this crazy stuff. And yeah, sure, it probably wasn't always going to pay off in the best of ways, but damn, that was just a lazy way to do it. Also, with Sheva, as far as the AI goes, yes, humans have their issues, but just about any human is better than that Sheva AI, where it was like, okay, basically you almost have to babysit Sheva. You have to give her pistol ammo only because she'll blow through everything else. You get nicked on anything, and she's like, here's a healing! Like, and she gives you like the full fucking healing because she got a hold of one of those things, when it's like, no, I want to stay in yellow for a bit unless things get real, and then yes, you can heal me, but it's like there's not exactly a way you can set that to where it's like, oh hey, only heal me when I'm like nearly dead.
Okay, so it's a bad single player game, but that doesn't make it a bad game because the game is designed to be co-op, and that's
then
the
they
problem.
shouldn't have made a single player element. The co-op is okay. Let's make something really clear here.
Okay.
So I hate it in the sense of that this game had so much potential to be fucking amazing.
It was fucking amazing.
No, it wasn't. It had moments. It did, and I will say there are moments that I like. I had a great weekend with you playing this game.
That was one of my favorite gaming moments.
Me too.
Friday the 13th.
Me too.
Going to GameStop, buying that game, and playing it all night.
That was a great moment, and anything I say doesn't change that.
Agreed.
That first level is really great. I love it. It's actually, in my personal opinion, better when you're solo, but it still works very well as co-op, because like if that was representative of the whole game, that would have been something truly special.
This would have been a different conversation. You might not even be having this argument.
No, I think we probably wouldn't even be doing this episode. It'd probably be like, hey, we both really love this game. I think that the inventory system, you could have made it work. It just felt like the way they did it wasn't quite cutting it. Like, ultimately, push comes to shove, and I know this one is not a fair argument. I'm going to admit it, but I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Last of Us is what Resident Evil 5 should have been. It balances survival horror and fast-paced gameplay. Everything's frantic, ammo is limited, and yes, you fight humans and such, but it's able to blend those elements in a way to where it works. The scary moments are creepy. The action moments have action to it. And I'm not one of those people who goes after, it's like, oh man, it's really dumb that you like stand in place when you shoot. Like, that's just a Resident Evil thing.
It is Resident Evil. Nobody complained about that in 4, and 4 is one of the greatest games ever made.
Exactly. And like, it didn't help 6. It didn't help 6 the fact that you could move.
But that's one of my argument, is like, everybody hates 5 for the criticisms that 6 gets, but they're not even close to the same. 5 and 6, 5 is a lot more like 4 than 5 is a lot like 6. And I, like, when people talk about Resident Evil 4, which by the way is my favorite Resident Evil game and will always be, I really don't see 5 as that much different, other than the co-op aspect of it, because there's a lot of moments in 4 that aren't really scary and they're full of action.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's 5 on paper is kind of a worse 4.
but not by much.
No, it's not that well thought out either, though.
I disagree.
It's fine. That's fine, dude. It's a game that like 6 is absolute dog shit.
No, yeah, 6,
Like 6 yeah.
6 almost killed the franchise.
By that comparison, yes, absolutely, you're right in that sense. But like ultimately, it also became a victim of expectation too, because it's like, okay, how do you follow up 5? And I think they took it in the wrong direction.
I agree, but that shouldn't take away with what 5 did accomplish, and it did accomplish having. Was it the right step for the franchise? No. Thank God that 7 kind of put it back on track, and you and I still have not played that game yet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it.
And same, but like to say that 5 is atrociously worse than 4, I disagree. Control wise, they're about the same. You can make the 4 controls in 5, and that's fine.
Roughly.
The AI that you're fighting against is better in 5. It is.
It's okay.
I think it's better. I think that the weapon diversity could have been a little better.
There's customizability, but like at the same time, it's not as gratifying as 4.
There are more hidden treasures in 5. There are more Easter eggs. There are more.
That's all like extra elements on top of a game that isn't like structurally sound.
Structurally,
like it's great. Hey, you got some Easter eggs. Hey, you got yourself some extra treasures. The ultimate question I ask yourself is, did I have fun doing that? And
yes.
Single player, no, I didn't. Like playing that game felt like a chore to me going back.
But if you and I picked it up right now and went and played Resident Evil 5, would you have a good time?
Ultimately, push comes to shove, I'd have some fun with you, but that single-player experience is marred for me. The story experience is marred for me. So there'd be elements where we would still have fun, but I'd still be bad-mouthing it while we're playing some of this stuff.
And that's fine. I don't think that should take away from what the game is, and it still stands as a great co-op game. And yeah, you're right. It's a single-player game. It's not very good. Even though I didn't have a lot of issues with Sheva, everybody else did, and I'm not going to defend her. Not to mention her character bores the shit out of me.
That too. She really, like...
Not defending her in that sense, but... I wish this game would have done like a way out style of like you had to play a co-op, because if you play this game co-op, it's
that would help.
One of the best co-op games I've ever played. And still to this day, like I will defend it, is if you had 2 people who wanted to play a co-op zombie game and they didn't want to play Left 4 Dead or they didn't want to play Portal 2, I'd give them this game and they would have a blast.
They'd have some fun with it. Ultimately, I think when you go back and like if you played other Resident Evils, you'd find out very quick like why that one is such a departure.
It's a step in the wrong direction, but it's still a great game.
No. I'm going to have to agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree, Fred.